First of all, thank you everyone for coming. And I'm not very comfortable with this camera stuff. These two are. So this is my third book, not second.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Now you're giving us even more reasons to feel bad.
The first one was in a hurry, so I didn't give that much publicity because I wanted to focus on Icons of Grace. It was too close, the release date. Yes, so this book, I wanted to actually get it out next year, but then I realized in 1 year so much can happen. The world changes, everything keeps changing. And these are questions that everyone has. As I write in the introduction, I have been asked these questions by a 9-year-old, a teenager, a youth, young mothers, millennials, and everyone beyond. Any modern audience, or anyone beyond that also. And unless we get these answers specifically focusing on a particular question, it's very difficult to move forward if we are stuck, doubts. So therefore I thought, let me just come up with this book. And it was just a decision which I made all of a sudden one day, and I said, now let me just reach out to the publishers, whether they agree to do it in like record time. Generally they take like 6-7 months. And Penguin was, they were already doing my Icons of Facebook, they had taken over. So they were more than happy. It was a task. And I think everything fell in place by Krishna's grace. So the result is right in front of us. And the target audience is anyone 9 and above. So it's meant for everyone.
Prabhuji, if there's one singular message that you would like this book to resonate with every single person who buys it and reads it, what is that one message? Is there a singular message, or is it just a ready reckoner which you can keep by your bedside every time you have questions about life, spirituality, religion, and you don't know whom to ask? You want them to refer to this book. So in your head, what is that one message?
It is very simple, because with the social media and a lot of stuff happening around us, we most of the times tend to overlook or verify the details of the information that comes to us. And whatever information comes to us, we also have an innate nature. We try to filter it through that. And therefore we tend to overlook the details, and we immediately believe everything that comes to us, and especially if it resonates with our own thinking. Like especially after WhatsApp, everybody has become a big jnani. So some people have this habit. Every morning they'll send out a long message to everyone, 10,000 people. And 99% of the times, these people who send out these messages, they themselves don't read them. But just a matter of, just that everybody now has the opportunity to make a breaking news. So my only message is that whenever some information comes to us, we verify that from the authentic sources. And especially when it comes to life, when it comes to God, when it comes to spiritual subject matters, the knowledge must be referred. We must refer to the scriptures. They are the most authentic source of knowledge. Like if you are studying biology, you don't verify the facts from that book, from a book based on economics. Or if you are studying geography, you don't verify it from chemistry books. So, but unfortunately, when it comes to these important subjects, we are very quick to come to a conclusion deriving our information from some Google, Wikipedia. That's not the authentic source. Even if, I'm not saying everything is wrong, but whatever you get from those platforms also, verify them with scriptures, because these are the authorized books. So that's what I've tried to do. Plus we need logic, we need examples. So I have used logic, science, and scriptures, all three, to answer the questions in this. So verify before you, and Therefore, I hope that I've been able to present the message or the answers authentically. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Kajal, my question's now pointed to you. I have to confess, it's very refreshing to see somebody from the glamour industry on a panel that discusses spirituality. I'm just hoping your tribe increases. Do you have any specific recollection of when religion, spirituality, divinity entered your life and became a priority? Is it something you grew up with? Is it something that happened along the way? Tell us a little bit about your spiritual journey.
Hare Krishna, everybody. It is so wonderful to see this massive turnout. It's really, really nice. Good evening. Thank you, Prabhuji, for having me here. Priya, it's so nice to meet you. So to answer your question, my family has always been very inclined towards religion, rituals, spirituality. Of course, all the three of these mean different things. I belong to a family which has always visited temples. We've done pujas at home. I've grown up watching Mahabharata, Ramayana, like all of us. So I guess that little spark of interest and curiosity was there from a very young age on. Of course, this inculcated into something much deeper when Prabhuji entered my life. I was lucky enough to be introduced to Prabhuji through family during COVID. And I attended all the discourses. This was all over Zoom. And like all of us, I'm sure many of you have done the same, attended a lot of the lectures, did satsang over Zoom and all of that. Life was at a standstill, and I truly believe that there was a reason for all of us to connect and come closer to our divinity at that point of time. Having said that, I believe that divine is something which is very personal. With the passage of time, one needs to understand, develop, and cultivate their personal equation and their personal relationship with divine. For me, divine is my best friend, and someone who I can speak to, someone who I think of, and the one true guiding factor for everything that I do in my life.
That's beautifully put, and I think that resonates with so many of us urban professionals today especially, and it's nice that when you look at the room around us, there are so many young urban professionals who are here because they want to,
Absolutely.
you know. Prabhuji, I'm coming back to you with a question. Again, I'm a little curious to know, what was your writing process? What kind of, was there any research? I mean, I'm asking as a lay person because I want to understand your writing process. Was there a format of research? How did you put this book together? What was your starting point?
So these questions, if you go through the index, there are no news. And over the last 7-8 years, during my interactions, whatever I've gathered, so I put all those questions together. And these are the most common questions. I don't think there's any question that I've left. The process was, yes, little bit of research was required, because when I put some information or some figures, so you need to cite the original source, which was painstaking for me. I just wanted this to get done as soon as possible, but the publishers keep coming back to cite legal team. But then the understanding that I have got over the last many years since I joined, so a lot of that has gone into this book, the answers. And then there are devotees who have done this question answer, so I got some reference from them also. So that's how we could put it together.
Such a beautiful book, Prabhuji. I was reading it yesterday and I have to confess I'm halfway through. Kajal, I know you and I just spoke and you said you started reading the book too. Any early thoughts on what this book did for you? How did you feel? Do you have any particularly favorite question? My favorite question is the one that says, what is the purpose of life? I think I've spent 48 years trying to find the answer to that, and not succeeded yet, but on the path, do you have a favorite question?
Well, haven't all of us asked that question? I'm sure each and every person in this room feels that way. But, for me, this book, Prabhuji has been telling me about this book since a while. And I must confess that I absolutely love it. I've been reading it as well. Not finished it yet, but I'm loving it so far. And I remember Prabhuji telling me very early on while he was penning this down that he wants to connect via this book to people who are young, the youth, the youngsters. He wants everyone to understand divinity in the most simplified manner. And I think that's what this book does for me. We've all learned so much from him, and he has been talking about various topics, our scriptures and our really rich history, you know, through the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam, all of these beautiful books. But I guess one forgets, you know, we are all very human, and it's difficult to remember these things after a point. But this book, trust me guys, if you all haven't read it so far, please go buy your copies today, is a total handbook that you need to keep by your bedside. It literally answers everything in such a simple manner. It's a true beauty.
Do you have a favorite question that you want to read out to us?
So I'm very curious about Sri Krishna, and I always have been, and I have been bothering Prabhuji with these incessant questions, and he's actually answered one of my questions in the book, which is, why does Krishna have so many wives? He married 16,108 girls, and I always wondered, like, isn't this contradictory? What a player. So Prabhuji answered this beautifully in the book. If he can elaborate on this.
Prabhuji,